All right, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
It's
This
been a
is
minute.
totally not our second episode of season 2. It's our first episode, but we shot our second one first.
Yeah.
We went a little backwards, but yeah. So we decided to start the podcast back up. We've been trying to for a while, but we had no good excuse really. Actually, now that I think about it.
Just things backing up.
Yeah, really. I mean,
Conference that kind of pushed it back.
yeah,
Christmas, New Year's, everything. Yeah.
yeah. I think Ilya's not with us anymore. He got married.
Yeah.
So he has resigned from this service, from this ministry.
So we replaced him with
Jorik.
Jorik.
With our George, Curious George, right here, reading the scripture. He's ready to go. But yeah, that those are a couple things that changed. But yeah, I guess let's talk about how the season's gonna go. This episode's really just gonna talk about how this season's gonna go, what we're planning to, and we also have a sound guy right here sitting.
Yeah.
His name is Alex. You can't see him right now.
Right.
Yeah, but we've decided to go a little more official. We've made a table. We've done everything. We're definitely trying to push through this ministry, and we're gonna keep it going, because what we've been hearing from a lot of people is they enjoy it. They enjoy hearing the people's opinions, like our opinions, and I would say just like talking about the Bible, talking about the world we're in right now at the moment, how people see the word. So let's talk upload schedule. I decided that we're going to stick to the same one, Wednesdays, every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. That's when it'll go live. And yeah. Actually, no, that wasn't the original one. It used to be Thursdays, wasn't it?
Wednesday we shot him.
Yeah,
Thursday
Wednesdays we shot him. And then, yeah. So yeah, it'll be Wednesdays now at 6 p.m. And if you guys are all interested, we usually shoot them on Mondays. And yeah. And that's how that works. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, I don't know, Ben, do you have anything that you're expecting from this podcast?
Not really. We'll just see how it goes.
We're winging it, guys. I'm telling you, we are not no podcast specialists. This is our first time doing it.
Second time actually.
Well, second season, yeah.
So,
But like, we're not that experienced. We're just some youth guys, just to say the least. But yeah,
just your average Joe.
Just your average Joe, yeah. With George. But yeah, we will be doing a lot of guest episodes. We're going to continue those. A lot of people enjoyed that, especially from our youth. People would love seeing their friends or seeing like people they know on the show, and just like getting to know them better, because they would say like, wow, I never knew that about that person, and they only found out though like those things when they heard about it on the podcast. I guess it helped our youth know each other a little more. It's just that little thing that helps. So we're definitely gonna have more guests.
Yeah, and if you want to be on it too, just let us know.
Yeah,
we'll definitely put you on.
Yeah, you don't have to be from our youth as well. We will always find time to get people from other youths in here. But yeah, the whole reason, there's a whole story, I would say, of why the podcast took so long to start back up. I'd say I'd take the blame for it. I'll take the hit. I was putting it off for the longest time. I felt demotivated. Didn't feel like anything was really getting out of it. We had no I thought no one would really enjoy it. I think the devil's thoughts were getting to me, I guess you could say. And I just kept putting it off. But I'm glad that we've started back up. I think one thing that really did gave me a biggest what was the word, deciding factor. The biggest deciding factor was people walking up and saying, hey, when is the podcast going to start back up? And I would always ask them, like, oh, I mean, we're not sure yet, but like, well, why do you ask? Like, were you interested, or are you just wondering? We would like to know to see if we should start it back up or not. And just about everybody would say they actually enjoyed listening to it, and they actually listened to them. So we decided we're gonna start it back up, and so yeah, I was hearing that for the longest time, and me being stubborn, that wasn't enough for me. That wasn't enough evidence to why we should start it back up. And I just started praying on it, and I personally prayed on it for a while, and I would say God answered me one night when I was struggling with many other things, and I was praying like, Lord, what's one thing we have to, like, one thing that you want to work through me with, like what do you want me to do? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And something just kept pushing me back to the podcast. Is like reminding me of people asking me about it, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know if I want to do it, and I obviously regret thinking that, but I was thinking like, I don't know if I want to do it, and I think God the next or no, my excuse sorry, my excuse was, Lord, I'm planning a wedding and everything. I can't do
Mm-hmm.
that, you know. I want to get married, you know. And yeah, and I said, Lord, if you help me with my wedding, this was very, I believe, like, it was kind of messed up. So I'm basically saying this, but like, if you help me, I help you, type of deal.
Yeah.
And I treated it like nothing. I was like, oh, if it happens, it happens, you know, blah blah. And I was acting like I was making the rules, which was wrong. And I've come to notice that after. But God did wake me up by making that happen. And in my head, I was thinking, God's not gonna like help me in this situation
Mm-hmm.
because how do I say this? Like because the podcast ain't gonna go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's no purpose behind it. So why would He help us? You know. So then passes a couple of days. I prayed about it again, and I was like, Lord, you know what? I was wrong for that. You know, like we're gonna start this podcast. We're gonna get it going, but I am gonna need help to get it off my feet. So if you send me I guess a miracle check, or not even a miracle check, because I was struggling financially as well. I need I just needed what's the word, reassurance as well. And I said, like, if you send me something, whatever it is, I'm gonna put 50% back into the church or back
Mm-hmm.
into the podcast, and we're gonna start this podcast. And the next day, I walked into my office, and my boss handed over a check saying that get for a certain amount for 5,000. And I was thinking, because the day before that, I was thinking to myself, all I need is 2.5 to get this podcast on its feet
Mm-hmm.
and make it presentable, you know. And that's exactly 50%. 50% of 5,000 is exactly 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Then
Yeah, I
we,
remember you telling me this when it
yeah,
happened. It was
and
mind blowing.
I got chills, and
Mm-hmm.
it was almost like a wake up call, saying like, God saying like, don't test me, because I will make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like you know, like you gotta have trust and everything. And yeah, so that, and personally, that built my faith like crazy. And now I'm like on fire and passionate, and I really want to do this podcast, and I'm glad that we got it going. And I think we're gonna do everything we can to supply the community with the podcast.
Yeah.
Now it's your choice as well.
My choice? Yeah. I mean, I love doing these. I definitely see myself growing spiritually.
Yeah, for sure.
When we sit down, just have these deep talks.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, we have them all the time with the youth as well. Like, I remember the initial reason that we did end up thinking to start is because we would have him with our friends and youth.
yeah.
And we're like, wow, we wish we could record that, you know, and just
Mhm.
like let other people hear like these topics, you know.
Mhm.
And we wish we could hear other people's opinions on it too, you know. So I'd say the perfect spot to do it is a podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Agreed.
So we hope you guys enjoy. This was episode 1, and we'll see you guys in episode 2. God bless.